It's number one for Blazin hip hop and R&B. Power 98.
Power 98 WPG. Shout out to number one for Blazin hip hop and R&B. Maino is in the building.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
One of Brooklyn's finest.
Brooklyn's finest, the new Brooklyn. It's the new face of New York City right now.
That's what it is, man. What you been up to, big homie?
Really?
I've been grinding, man. You know what I mean? Just been on the road for a minute. We hit them with High Hater. They thought that we couldn't come back with another one. We hit them with All the Above, which is now a certified gold single on its way to being platinum. You know what I mean? And we getting ready to go with this album June 30th. We got another brand new single with Swiss on the $1 Million joint. And we just been moving around and just trying to make it happen.
If Tomorrow Comes.
Yeah.
So you came up with that title?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, because if tomorrow comes, I want my tomorrow to be better than my today.
Come on.
That's pretty hot right there. I like that, man.
Yeah.
I want, like, we grinding for a purpose. Like, I ain't out here just doing nothing for nothing. Like, we trying to build a brand. So you got to think, like, if you a hustler, you want your tomorrow to be better. Like, you want to have more money than you got. You want to have more money tomorrow than you got today. You want every new day that comes, you will hope for it to be better.
Right.
So that's so if tomorrow comes, that's what it is.
All right. And it's not all about the money, I would admit.
Nah, it's about everything.
Right.
I mean, you want to be happier. You hope tomorrow will be better in anything you do. You want to be happier tomorrow than you was today.
And you got to put the work in to do it, of course.
You gotta grind.
Yes, you got to put the work in.
Yep.
So this is what I'm saying. This is why we're here. This is why we been being on the road non-stop for months straight, and and keep talking to the people. But it's all good. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Man, how did you start your rap career off, man? How did you started rapping?
Well, I started rapping when I was in prison. You gotta understand. I come from the streets, so I ain't even had no dreams, aspirations even of being a rapper. I went to prison when I was 16. Got a 5 to 15. Wound up doing 10. So during that time, I started rapping. Had never rapped in my life.
Really?
Never rapped in my life. Nah, never rapped in my life.
So being locked up, was that your motivation? I mean, how did it come to you start rapping?
I was getting in trouble in prison. I was getting in a lot of trouble. And they would take you out of the general population and put you in like a box, solitary confinement and stuff like that. And one day I just you got to think, if you're in a cell for 23 hours a day, it ain't much you could do. You can read a book, writing a letter. So one day I just said, I'm gonna write me a rhyme. I'm gonna write me a rhyme one day in my cell. I just decided to write a rhyme, and then I started to like to do it. It started to become like a hobby for me.
Wow.
So this is around the same time that Biggie Smalls was all over the place. Like he was, Junior Mafia and Biggie Smalls, Lil Kim, that whole movement. They come from my hood, so I kind of like identified with that. So I was like, man, like they come from Brooklyn, they come from Bed-Stuy, same place I come from. So I was like, well, maybe I could go home and do it.
Wow.
So I started to take it serious while I was in prison. But before I got out, I started to try to invest all my time and try to learn something about the business. So by the time I got out, I had a plan, and the plan was to get out here and make music happen for me. So this is what we're doing. This is what my song All the Above is about. And if you listen to All the Above and you watch the video, this is still on 106 in Park. It's about going from nothing to something. You know what I mean? And when I say I'm a miracle baby, I mean that because I live a certain life that years ago that I would never imagine being here.
Yeah. I mean, and most rappers, artists have a story to tell. And your parents, I think you wrote somewhere, I've read somewhere that they were both drug addicts.
Yeah, well,
have that support.
I didn't have the worst family on the block. Put it like that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you, like, my father was definitely heavily addicted to drugs. He died when I was real young. And but my mother, her situation was a little bit different. She was you ever heard of a term called like a functioning addict?
Absolutely.
Like where you may have a habit, but
you can still get
right. She still maintained a job. She had a heroin thing going on. You know what I mean? And it was time where I didn't know for a long time.
Really?
Right. I didn't even know because she kept it in a way where it wasn't in front of her kids. You understand what I'm saying? And so I didn't know for a while that she was even. I suspected certain things, but she was functioning. She, you know what I mean? She had a job, and and then she definitely held us down. So her situation was a lot different than my father. He was like really in the street and really out there. You know what I mean? And you see the crackheads, he would probably be one of them. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
It was different. But like I said, I don't even want to paint the picture like I had the worst family on the block. 'Cause I didn't.
Right,
know?
but you got through that though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
So-
that's a beautiful thing.
What do you say to you said when you was in the streets you didn't have any dreams or aspirations. So what do you say to younger folk listening that might be in that situation or may feel like that right now, that they don't have any dreams or aspirations?
Yeah, well, I didn't have any dreams or aspirations of being a rapper. My only dreams and aspirations was being a gangster, being a dude in the street. I didn't look up
Like
to
a
being
lot
a
of
rapper.
young people
Right,
Like a
now,
lot
right?
of dudes.
Yeah,
like a lot of dudes in the street, they feel hopeless. They feel like they never gonna be
Right, ain't gonna be
get
there.
out the street.
That's right.
And I'm living proof that the street and prison is not the end all be all. Because I didn't bled in the street, I didn't shed blood in the street, I didn't done everything revolving around street activities. You understand? So I understand probably more than anybody. You know what I mean? What it feels like to really exist and feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, we hustling for a reason, man. Like, I need to eat. There ain't no food in my refrigerator. What you talking about? I'm living in my grandmother's house. She can't take care of me. You understand? So I know what it is.
Yeah.
You know? But
So
like-
what do you say? I mean, because you've been there.
Yeah.
So what do you say, I guess, to inspire somebody else who's there listening to you right now? What's that one thing you say to them?
I tell them that, like I said, the streets is not the end all be all. Like, if you feel like you can do something else, if you feel like you have the ability to try something else, to try something different, give it a chance. You understand? I know it's more easier said than done, but give yourself a shot. You owe it to yourself and your family, because we come from a place where we feel like we not valuable. You are valuable, though. You feel me?
Absolutely.
But I ain't no preacher nothing, but I know and understand what the streets is, and it's like we feel like we value, we have no value, and when you feel like that, this is why we act the way we act.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So you do have value, homie.
That's what's
That's
up.
powerful.
We're gonna take a commercial break, come back, we're gonna drop that all the above when we come
Yeah.
back. We're gonna get to the new Maino and an
right.
album coming out June 30th.
June
And we're gonna
30th.
find out what's on the album and what Maino up to.